What's up YouTube? Dax Leader here, coach of your Montreal Canadiancies, here for my Week 4 battle of the CPL versus Aster and his Montreal Habsols. If you can't tell, I'm pretty sick right now, so forgive me if my voice sounds different or I'm not as enthusiastic as usual. But let's talk about this game a little bit, where we are and who we're up against. So first of all, we're sitting at 2-1 right now after our loss to Tony. So Aster is the only undefeated team right now, and yeah, it could have been like the only two undefeated teams going up against each other this week if I didn't lose to Tony last week, but that wasn't the case. But that's alright. we're gonna go hard either way. Aster himself, you guys for sure know him as the GBA coach, but to me, I've known him for quite a while now. I met Aster in September of 2017 in real life. I just discovered his channel, and I organized a subscriber meetup, and he was nice enough to grant me that. So we just hung out. I helped him prep for one of his D-League games, and yeah, we've been talking ever since. So what like, yeah, he's probably like my best friend in the community, either him or Cameron, really. And I wouldn't, like, Aster, I deserves all the credit for taking me from just a fan of Draft League to someone who's active in the community. I think that's the best way to describe it. That said, I know Aster pretty well as a person, but also as a player. So I think, although he has a lot more Draft League experience than I do, this isn't like an auto loss for me. I actually think I constructed a really nice team that has the capability of beating him the way I know he likes to build. And before I hop into the team, you know what, I'll explain it as I go. Let's yeah, you know, let's do that. Let's start off with Manaphy right here. Tail Glow, Surf, Shadow Ball, Energy Ball. This ended up being Waterium Z, but as you can see I have a Z Latios, so this was actually supposed to be like leftovers probably. Anyway. You'll see what happens in the game. So this whole season, wait, okay, sorry, yeah, anyway. Every week so far, I've tried to sweep late game with Manaphy, but I've realized it's not really what it's best at. Manaphy is a Pokemon that forces my opponent to switch around, scouting your set, and they'll often end up sacking a few months in the process if you get some predictions right. And the reason I realized that this week is because I know Aster is a very scout-heavy player, and I really think that if I can get this thing in early, I'm actually confident it can get like multiple kills this game. The coverage is pretty obvious. It just lets me hit all his water resists super effectively, being that Decidueye, Seismitoad, and Rotom. And I decided to go with Shadow Ball as my option to hit Decidueye, just to do more damage to that Cresselia. I have Max Speed Modest. Conveniently, that outspeeds a Max Timid Rotom. 68 Spadef puts the roll in my favor to live a neutral max special attack Celesteela's Bloom Doom from full, as that's my main setup target, and the rest is in special attack. Let me just double check Aster's Z users. I'm pretty sure it's definitely Celesteela, but also sorry, pulling up the doc. Celesteela, Excelgor, and Garchomp. Alright. So next, let's talk about this Aerodactyl. Aerodactyl's got Stealth Rock, Smackdown, Roost, EQ. Speed is to be a bit faster than Houndoom, a max speed Houndoom, in case Excelgor tries to creep it. Yeah. Like, in case Excelgor tries to creep a Aerodactyl creeping a Houndoom type of thing. So I have just a little bit more speed than I need to outspeed Houndoom, if that makes any sense. The attack EVs I have and Adamant Nature make it so that Smackdown plus 2 EQs kills max defense Celesteela, which is pretty crazy I think, and Oko's Zero Bulk Mega Houndoom, I Oko Zero Bulk Mega Houndoom with Earthquake. My HP and Spadef lets me take under 50% from Houndoom's Dark Pulse, and I also live max Modest Excelgor's Hydro Vortex plus another 3 Water Shuriken hits unless he gets an absolute max roll on Hydro Vortex and all 3 Water Shuriken hits, or just more than 3 Water Shuriken hits. Smackdown also Oko's Excelgor comfortably, and so I'm really happy with this set. This is another mon I feel like I have like proper usage, quote unquote, this week. Like I said it in my draft analysis, you can use, like, because Aerodactyl is so fast, if you don't run max speed, you can afford to make it really bulky and give it an Adamant Nature so it's really strong. So I think this is like a full potential Aerodactyl set. Just a quick little note is that Aster told me before the game he had like one really heat set that he wanted to bring versus me, and I ended up calling it. It was that Hydro Vortex Excelgor. He didn't end up revealing it in the game, but he sent me his team after, and he did have that Hydro Vortex Excelgor for my Nidoqueen, which I didn't end up bringing. Let's next talk about my Latios. This is a pretty, okay, although the moves look a little weird and the spread looks a little weird and the item looks a little, this whole Latios looks a little weird, but it's actually a fairly straightforward set. 4-attack Z, it's a Clefable Lure. The speed is for Nihilego. Special attack allows me to Oko, Garchomp, and Nihilego with Ice Beam and Psyshock respectively, and the attack investment lets me 2-hit KO Clefable with a Z Steel Wing, Jesus, into Steel Wing. Kills a, I think it's max HP Clefable. I don't think that works on max defense because I think he's gonna be Spadef unaware from Manaphy. Next up, let's go over this Scizor right now. I'm just reading these in the order of my notes, guys. If that bothers you, let me know in the comments. Like that it's not in the order of the team. So Scizor comes in on Clefable, provided it's not Flamethrower, forces it out, and also forces out Cress. Although, yeah, like I said, I gotta watch out for Fire coverage on both of those. I don't have Pursuit on this Scizor because as Cress switches in, I'm totally fine. Sorry, if Cress like switches out, switches out, I have no problem U-turning and maintaining momentum or knocking something's item off. So I don't think getting that like 1-up damage on Cress is as important as getting momentum or knocking something off. Scizor's most important role though is being a guaranteed offensive check to Nihilego, because I have 0 switch-ins to that mon. Adamant Life Orb gives me the most power while retaining my ability to switch moves, and I have a Roost so that the Life Orb recoil isn't such a big deal. My speed is for a Celesteela that is trying to creep a max speed Aerodactyl after an Autotomize. So, yeah, like, if Aerodactyl runs max speed, Scizor hits 1 point above half of Aerodactyl's max speed. Yeah, that's the kind of sense you have to bring while prepping for Aster. So, HP, the HP investment lets me live a Scarfed Garchomp's crit Earthquake as well, just because I knew it was going to be close, so I figured like I can afford to take out a little bit of attack and put it in HP to guarantee live that hit if I need to. Second to last mon, we're gonna go with we're bringing the Spadef Sylveon yet again. Relieves pressure from my otherwise offensive team, just like it did last week. The Spadef investment is the lowest possible amount I could have, so that a 176 special attack Timid Nihilego has a 0.4 chance to 2-hit KO with Sledge Wave after Leftovers recovery. And the reason he would run that set is because it's the maximum special attack investment Nihilego can have in order to get a beast boost in speed when it gets a kill. Hyper Voice for General Stab, Size Shock to catch Nihilego, and lastly I have Summon Wish, which work in conjunction this week. This Sylveon set can't touch Celesteela at all. So if Celesteela comes in, the idea is to sub up and block a Leech Seed, and that forces Celesteela to go for a Heavy Slam, which lets me get in my Manaphy so I can set up on that. Wish also lets me recover health, which I'll be losing from going for sub, and lets me bring in Manaphy or Latios or something safer. Or any of my mons really just come in easier with a Wish in the air that's ready for them if when they hit the field. And lastly, last but not least, we've got Von Reinherz, the Pyro, coming off the bench this week. I wanted the Scarfer versus Aster, like I said in my draft analysis. A unique base speed stat of 106 can come in clutch, outspeeding stuff like Nihilego, which is what my EVs in speed let me do this week. Pyro's main purpose is to be a revenge killer for anything, any of his offensive mons, and force out Celesteela with that powerful Fire Blast. Even uninvested Timid Pyro or 2-hit KOs Hounded by Nihilego with Bulldoze, and HP Grass is for Seismitoad. Instead, it's everything else. So, yeah, it's just a reliable Scarfer this week, and I can, like, I think Houndoom and Nihilego are his most likely win cons versus me. So, yeah, Bulldoze can revenge kill those if they're weakened quite a bit. So anyway, I think like I was saying, how like my Manaphy and my Aerodactyl, I think I figured out like proper usage for them this week, and I'm feeling nice about this team. And I got quite a bit of help too from the Midnight's Collective Discord server, so you guys know who you are. Shoutouts to you for that. As Turbo would say. Alright, and I guess let's hop right into the game. Welcome back, guys. We're back with our game versus Aster. I hope it's a good one. He brings the Excelgor, Nihilego, Seismitoad, Houndoom, Celesteela, and Clefable. So this is pretty much exactly what I expected. I knew Houndoom and Nihilego were going to be his main offensive mons. Clefable, unaware, kind of had to come from Manaphy. Celesteela, I don't have much for that. And Seismitoad and Excelgor were the only, like, things I wasn't 100% expecting, but, like, I'm not at all surprised to see them. Seismitoad is a great Weavile check, and Excelgor is also outspeeds Weavile, puts pressure on that, and especially because of that Hydro Vortex Lure set, he can take out, or he thinks he can take out my Nidoqueen or potentially my Aerodactyl, because those two mons resist his stab moves. Anyway, like I said, in my team builder I want to get in Manaphy early, so I think I'm just going to lead off with it. Oh, no, I lead off with Aerodactyl, hoping to get rocks up early. Yeah, because he didn't bring any removal this week, so I just wanted to get up those rocks if I could. He leads with his Seismitoad. I don't want to take a water type attack or an ice punch or anything, so I'm just going to switch out right into Latios. I don't see any reason not to. This is pretty free for me, but I can't really touch this Bax, so he's going to go to that, and I'm going to double into Manaphy right here, because I know this can't really touch me. He goes for a knockoff right here, and now I'm glad that I was the Z Crystal, or that's when I realized I was the Z Crystal, but like I take less damage from that, and that works out for me. So I feel a little stupid here, but like what I'm thinking is that if I don't pop off the Z Crystal on Manaphy, I have a much higher likelihood of catching the Clefable. So this might work out for me. We'll see about that. I throw off an Energy Ball, just because I lose nothing out of this turn by attacking. I get damage off on Clefable, and it forces out the Seismitoad. So now first I'm gonna go for a Surf, just to gauge the damage, and I find out this is definitely a max Spadaf Clefable, because yeah, that did 33, so like a third. And now I'm thinking he might not be. I don't know. Let's see what I do right here. Hold on. He goes for the Protect as I Energy Ball, thinking, because I think Aster earlier told me about when I was making my draft plan. Aster mentioned to me, like, we were thinking of mons that Manaphy can't break, and then he mentioned to me how unaware mons such as Clefable, Manaphy can, like, I was thinking Manaphy could never beat a Spadaf Clefable, but then Aster mentioned to me it could run Skill Swap, and I chose not to do that because he's the one who told me about it, so I thought he would be expecting it. And that's why I'm very hesitant to set up right here. But like after he's staying in for so long, then I'm just gonna go Scizor. He's revealed Protect. He's revealed Protect, Moonblast, right? Yeah, he's revealed Protect, Moonblast, and Wish already, so I doubt he has that fire coverage. So I can just go into Scizor and threaten out this Clefable right here. But he doesn't, so he goes for the Protect. He goes for the Protect as I knock off. Whoops. He goes for the Protect as I knock off. And yeah, because I was protecting the switch, obviously. And then Celesteela comes out on this next turn on a U-turn. So like fine plays on both our sides. I'm gonna go into Pyro to force this thing out. And now, for some reason, I'm thinking, alright, so I'm a fire type, it's a Celesteela, I'm gonna force this out, no big deal. Like, he's switching into either Nihilego or Houndoom, because I'm expecting his Seismitoad to be Fizz Def for Weavile, right? So I think a Bulldoze is a pretty safe play right here, but, like, I just completely blanked on Protect. He just goes for that. That's his best middle ground play, and now I'm Scarfed and I can't touch this thing. So I'm forced out into Manaphy, and he goes right into Clef. I'm gonna Tail Glow here just in case this thing's unaware, and I know I live. I know I live on 1. So now I confirm this thing's unaware. Yeah, I confirmed that this thing's unaware. Right, and I'm okay with sacking off Manaphy right here because it's way too low to do anything. I get like I had Hydro Vortex, right? So at any point, not any point, but from this range, I easily kill off Clefable with the Hydro Vortex. And is this? No, I don't. I never ended up throwing it off. I don't know. I could have expected a Protect. I could have expected. I don't know what turn this is. Sorry, I'm out of it right now. So he, yeah, he went for Moonblast, Wish, Moonblast. Okay, so he could have protected on any one of these turns. So I didn't want to waste my Z move on that. So this game is just kind of a lot of getting plays wrong on my end. Not quite. I wouldn't call them 50-50s, but like at the time in my head they kind of were, right? Because you could tell with my Manaphy very early it was always like either Surf or Energy Ball, predicting that Seismitoad, right? And ultimately, I think I decided to go for Surf because at +3, I knew that even if he brought in Seismitoad, I'd just kill it off with the next attack. But he was just kind of sacking off Clefable here this whole time, which is what I said in my team builder, right? I knew that Aster would just kind of like want to trade something for Manaphy. I don't know, like I called it and I didn't execute it. Kind of, I wouldn't say story of my life, but like I'm not surprised that I made that mistake. Anyway, I think I bring out Scissor right here, try to force this thing out. Like I said, I know he's just sacking this, and that's what he told me. And this damage reveals to me that I forgot to put Technician on this Scissor, unfortunately. That did 44. I don't know if that would have killed, but it would have been like way closer. And now I can't U-turn and knock off the Celesteela or anything. So that's just unfortunate. I don't think this ended up being a big deal, because like I had EV'd my Scissor to like I made sure that with my attack I didn't want to go any lower than being able to kill a max HP Nihilego for whatever reason, because I know he likes running a lot of bulk on some of his offensive mons sometimes. So I mean he wasn't max HP Nihilego after the game, I found out. So then I'm gonna take out this Clefable. Was that a crit? No. Anyway, he can go super free into Celesteela. I'm gonna go Pyroar. He Leech Seeds. I Fire Blast, and then I really should have doubled right here. But I just go for the damage because that Celesteela's just because I don't really have anything else to kill it at this point. And also, like, I didn't have any switch-ins at that point, but, like, I should have doubled into Scizor regardless. Anyway, I force out his Nihilego here. This comes out, he's just wearing down my Scizor now. And I'm just forced to switch around versus everything on his team. He makes some nice doubles. Catches my Latios, I have to go Sylveon here. I take a Dark Pulse, it's a crit that does nothing. He nasty plots, I believe. I subbed expecting the Celesteela, which I don't regret that play. That's what I planned to do, right? But a bit of unnecessary damage on my Sylveon. He goes for the nasty plot, kind of capitalizes on that. And now I think I'm just going to attack as he flamethrowers. There you go. That does over 50. That's fine. I'm not going to die to the next one, I don't think. Or maybe I calculated and I did. Or right, Sledge Bomb. Right. So I know I can. I know I can bring in Latios. I'm kind of sacking it right here because Clefable's down. I don't need yeah, Clefable's down, so I don't need Latios to lure anything anymore. And like looking at the rest of his matchup, it's not great. So I go into Latios as a sack play. I go for the Thunder predicting Celesteela, but I don't know if he reads that or what, but he goes into Seismitoad, because this is probably his least valuable member as well. The idea was to sack something off and get an Aerodactyl to take out the Houndoom right there. So then I let this Latios... I'm going to go into Sylveon to get some health back with a Wish, but he's faster than my Sylveon and takes me out with a knockoff plus an Earthquake. And now I can't really do anything. I'm gonna go Scizor and Roost up, just because I need Scizor healthy, or else I just lose to Nihilego. That's the only thing. I know, like, I'm gonna make sure, even though I've already kind of lost this game to Celesteela, I'm gonna make sure Scizor is my last mon to go down because I need something for that Nihilego in the back. I believe I smack down here. He goes into Seismitoad because there's no reason not to. He has a million sacks at this point. I get late game rocks just to whittle down those the Excelgor and Houndoom. I can Roost stall, kinda, but like I'm not actually gaining any net HP, so it's not doing anything. I just go for damage right here. He takes me out with the Scald, and then Scizor can't kill this in one hit, and that's gonna be GG to Aster J. He gets the burn here, and like, oh well. I don't know if I would have taken out his Seismitoad within the U-turn. 33... maybe. I don't know. Whatever. That's a 5-0. It's a 5-0 loss for us versus Aster. I really thought I could have won this game, and I don't think I played horribly. Like, I stuck to my game plan. I just didn't play aggressively when I had to. That's what I should have done. What worked out for me in weeks past is playing aggressively early. And with a breaker like Manaphy, you kind of got to do that. I mean, okay, the Manaphy plays, I don't disagree with at all. He told me after the game that he was... what was it? No, because of that... Yeah, he was Encore, right? So, if I was skill swap, I took his Unaware, then he just Encore, and then he just got it back. So, what we learned today is that Clefable is like the only mon in the game that, in Draft League, that Manaphy can't break, like no matter what. So, yeah, looking at the rest of the game, I definitely should have doubled around that Nihilego so I could catch it. Would have helped if I was Technician. I would have done a lot more damage to his team. Also, the Houndoom, when that came in, did that come in like after Clefable died? Because otherwise, I definitely could have doubled into Arrow. I wanted to get my Mega off early so I could switch into it, actually. Let's see. So he goes... yeah. He was in... okay, I was in with Scizor. I U-turned on his Celesteela, and then he switched... wait. No, he brings in... I think I'm Encored here at this point, am I? No, I bring it in to take... okay. I bring in Scizor to take out Nihilego. He goes Celesteela. I go Latium, he doubles into Houndoom. There I could have doubled into Aerodactyl. That would have been my play. Again, all hindsight. These are like really minute criticisms, which is why I don't hate the way I played this game. But yeah, overall, GG to Aster. Like, he's a great player. I have heard people say, like, oh, just because you're in the GBA doesn't mean you're, like, the greatest or whatever, but Aster deserves all the success he has. He's that good, and like everything he's done for me, I really appreciate that. Just thought I wanna stress that. So that's gonna, like I said, GG. We're now 2-2 in the CPL, and yeah, that's about it. Next week we're taking on Lunar, who has a scary trick room looking team that that's the interesting one. So stay tuned for that. Alright, that's gonna be me, and I'll catch you guys later.